And now, it's my honor and privilege to introduce our special guest and commencement speaker today. Here at James Madison University, we take pride in preparing our students to be educated and enlightened citizens who lead productive and meaningful lives. Justin Constantine is a shining example who is doing just that. As a 1992 graduate of JMU, Justin went on to earn a law degree at the University of Denver. After his second year of law school, he felt the call to serve his country as a United States Marine. He specialized in criminal law as a judge advocate in California and Japan. He transitioned from active duty, taking a commission as a reservist, and began a career as a legal advisor for the Department of Homeland Security. Along the way, he met his future bride, Dahlia. His life was, by most standards, productive and meaningful. In 2006, then Captain Constantine volunteered for deployment to Al Anbar province in Iraq. He was to serve as a team leader of a group of Marines tasked with helping local Iraqi communities develop critical infrastructure projects. Despite years of training as a Marine, Justin was astonished at the speed of the operations and the level of engagement with the enemy. 2 weeks into his tour, one of the vehicles in his convoy was destroyed by a roadside bomb. 2 weeks later, Justin barely escaped the same fate. But what happened just 6 weeks into his deployment would not only change Justin's life forever, but also change the lives of many wounded soldiers with whom he has worked since, and inspire countless others who have heard his story over the past 6 years. Justin was critically wounded by a sniper as his team stopped to check on a group of Marines who were guarding a notoriously dangerous area. He spent weeks in the hospital and has undergone countless surgeries since that day 6 years ago. But Justin never stops to feel sorry for himself. In fact, as he was fighting for his life in a hospital bed in Germany, one of his biggest concerns was for the safety of his Marine compatriots whom he left behind in Iraq. His recovery has been long and painstaking, but it hasn't slowed him down. Since being wounded, Justin has dedicated his life to helping and advocating on behalf of the other 44,000 American soldiers who have been wounded during the conflicts in Iraq and Afghanistan. He was the founder of Command Media, a video production company that hires and trains wounded warriors to produce top-quality film products. He began the T-Shirts for Troops campaign that allows individuals to purchase T-shirts for wounded soldiers at Brooke Army Medical Center in San Antonio. Justin is an active member of the Board of Directors of the Wounded Warriors Project and a member of the Department of Defense Recovering Warrior Task Force. The White House and the Commonwealth of Virginia have recognized his heroism and advocacy on behalf of wounded veterans. He is the recipient of the Purple Heart, Combat Action Ribbon, and the Navy Marine Corps Commendation Medal. You may even have seen him on CNN or on the White House Champions of Change blog. In his spare time, Justin is still a practicing attorney with the Federal Bureau of Investigation's National Security Law Branch, and he also shares his inspirational lessons of recovery as a motivational speaker. On behalf of the James Madison University community, thank you for your service and sacrifice to our country. And Justin, thank you for your commitment to be the change on behalf of your fellow wounded warriors. Ladies and gentlemen, Justin Constantine.
Well, I don't know if my speech is going to be as nice as that introduction, but thank you very much for that. And Rector Funkhauser, members of the Board of Visitors, President Alger, and Dr. Benson, faculty and staff, ladies and gentlemen, and last but not least, the graduates of the class of 2012. I'm extremely proud to stand before you today, and good morning to all of you. As you heard in that very kind introduction, I was standing exactly where, or sitting exactly where you are 20 years ago. And at that time, I honestly didn't expect to get invited back to JMU for anything. So I guess miracles do happen. It's a good thing for you going out into the real world right now. But really, I can't tell you what an honor it is to be here today, spending a little bit of time with all of you. And it's so refreshing to see JMU shine a spotlight on wounded warriors, and I'm very proud to be here representing that community today. JMU keeps getting better and better every year, and the growth has been astronomical. I know a lot of you are probably nervous about what's coming next after graduation, but trust me and believe me when I tell you this. Every adult who is here with you today or watching from home on the live stream would jump at the chance to trade places with you. You're in such an exciting time and place right now, and all of us who have walked in your shoes know that. The world is wide open to you right now, and I mean it when I say you can do anything that you want. Now, at the risk of getting too serious at such a fun occasion, I have to say that when I look out and see all of you and see your faces, I can't help but to think about some of our Marines with our battalion in Iraq. It was 6 years ago, but still very close to the surface for me. I'll never forget a memorial service we had one day for 6 young Marines who have been killed in action while fighting the enemy. And it was an extremely sad day, especially just seeing their boots and rifles and helmets and dog tags at the front of the room standing in their place. But when I think about people your age, I also think about 2 young men who saved my life. As you heard, I was shot by a sniper behind my left ear, and when Corpsman George Grant came running over and turned me over, I was no longer breathing. And even though the sniper was still shooting and trying to hit whatever he could, whatever was moving, George Grant provided rescue breathing to me and then cut open my throat for an emergency tracheotomy so I wouldn't drown on my own blood. In his mere 25 years of life, George had never performed an operation like that on a human, his only experience being on a pig during some training. Yet my plastic surgeon at the military hospital later said he had done it perfectly, and he thought another surgeon had performed that battlefield operation. And then minutes later, 21-year-old Lance Corporal Jordan Bueller drove me at 70 miles per hour to an aid station so they could stabilize me during that critical first hour of recovery. That doesn't sound like a big deal here. All of you are going to be racing up and down 81 a lot faster than that in about 2 hours, I know. Maybe I will too. But at that time in Iraq, that was a big deal. We never drove faster than 15 miles per hour wherever we went because of all the hidden roadside bombs. They were everywhere at that time. You heard a little bit about that during the introduction. And we had learned the hard way, if you drove faster than 15 miles per hour and hit a bomb, you dramatically increase the chances of causing a vehicle to flip end over end and potentially killing everyone inside that vehicle. But just like George Grant had done minutes earlier, Jordan Bueller, with complete disregard for his own life, drove me at 70 miles per hour and got me to that aid station. So thanks to a 25-year-old Navy corpsman and a 21-year-old Marine Lance Corporal, I'm here today in front of you. And that's what I mean when I say the world is wide open to each and every one of you. Opportunities for you to contribute to society exist around every corner. And JMU has a strong tradition of public service, and I know from keeping up with the different JMU publications that some of you, many of you, have been involved and led some really impressive public service ventures. I believe that everyone owes a duty of service. Mine was through the military, and my wife's is through her amazing work as a teacher. But there are hundreds of other ways out there, and I really hope that each one of you finds your own way also. Your generation is challenging the way that we think and act on a number of levels, and I think that's fantastic. You probably wake up every day, not to an alarm clock, but to your favorite song playing on your smartphone. And the first person you talk to is Siri. You look to see what your friends are up to and what's on your electronic calendar. Maybe if the rest of us are really lucky, you'll send us a tweet telling us that you're going to take a shower and what you're going to have for breakfast. And over that breakfast, you don't read the daily paper because Google Alerts sends you only what you are interested in reading. And you think you would wait all week to watch your favorite show? No way, thanks to DVR. And your parents probably shuddered when they saw how easy it was for you to send thousands of text messages every month. But then they realized the beauty of the unlimited data plan. But the point is, you are all connected to each other in an unprecedented way. And you're very aware of not what's going on in just your own personal lives, but the lives of people halfway around the world. When I left JMU, we didn't have the internet, we didn't use emails, and we didn't even have cell phones. So you've grown up in a completely different era, even though it was just 20 years ago. I remember when Nirvana's new album, Nevermind, came out in 1991. Maybe that's classic rock now, but it wasn't then. But I was a junior, and I lived in the rugby house, and I can still picture making a mixtape, you don't know what that is, with songs from that album for a party later that night. But now it's Jay-Z, Alicia Keys, Gangnam Style, whatever you want, at the click of a button. I won't do my version of it for you. But far more than that has changed. You are pushing the envelope on things in the workplace now, challenging the traditional idea that a good employee spends all of his or her time at his or her desk and has to be there in that office 8 hours per day. Why not use alternative work schedules, work from home more, leverage the internet and newer communication models to make the world around you as user-friendly as possible? Your class and your whole generation enjoy the challenge of how to use technology to make the world around you a better place. Which one of you will develop the next Facebook, revolutionize our energy policies, or create a legal way for us to get any song we want at no cost to the end user? Legal. Who will be part of the movements to end veteran homelessness, to bring all of our schools into the 21st century, and to ensure that poverty-stricken countries around the world are lent a helping hand? Which one of you will be elected to Congress running on a platform of cooperation and bipartisanship? And which one of you will be the next President of the United States of America? Any of this is possible, and that is why anyone here would trade places with you in a heartbeat. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be easy. You'll definitely have to work hard, and it'll probably take you a while to figure out right where you want to be. And along the way, you may have to take some jobs that weren't exactly on your dream sheet. Just using my own history as an example, during the summers here at JMU, back in Fairfax, I waited tables at night and then worked for the city paving roads during the day. After JMU, I moved to Colorado with some other Dukes, and I stayed out there for law school. During my time there, I worked for UPS, loading packages onto airplanes. I worked at the school gym, at a copying company that copied huge documents for law firms, as an intern for the state as well as the federal government, as a teacher's assistant in an elementary school, and for Barbary selling bar exam study packages. Upon graduation, I became a trial lawyer in the Marine Corps and finally found a job I really did love. As you heard afterwards, I worked at the Department of Homeland Security, the Department of Justice, and on Capitol Hill as well. And now I work for the FBI, and I started my own inspirational speaking business. It's taken me a long time and a lot of jobs to get to a good place, but I've learned so much along the way and have made some lifelong friends. Without a doubt, though, the highlight of my career was my time in Iraq. Not too many lawyers get to lead Marines in a combat environment, and I learned a lot about myself during my time there. You each will have your own great experiences in newer and cooler ways than I ever did. I imagine that none of you are here on your own. Somewhere along the line, you have had parents or other family members who pushed you, a teacher who really encouraged you, or someone else who showed you and told you why coming to JMU would be such a rewarding experience for you. And if you were to go back and ask that one person what it is, for one thing, that they have more of, I guarantee you it wouldn't be money, it wouldn't be some material good, it wouldn't be power. I bet to the person that they would tell you the one thing they have more of is time. Time to spend with you, time to experience the world, and time to give back. Nobody goes to their deathbed wishing they had worked more. They always wish for more time. So that's the best advice I can give you today, is to use your time wisely. Make those connections and dive into a fulfilling career or go on to grad school. But make sure you take time to give back to your community and to others around you. By the sheer fact that you're graduating from JMU, you are automatically, in one way or another, ahead of so many who would love to be walking across the stage today. And I urge you to never forget that. My wife, Dahlia, who was then my girlfriend when I was injured, has been the number one factor in my successful reintegration back into society and adaptation to my new normal. Of course, I certainly hope and pray that none of you are injured in war, but I do hope that you all find your own version of Dahlia. She's been there for me time and time again, has helped me overcome the toughest obstacles, and now we're an inseparable team. That being said, I know that life can be very difficult and full of challenges, but trust me when I tell you, life is also beautiful and precious and sweet and something we should enjoy and love and treasure, not just get through. Now, as I wrap up here, I'd like to talk to you briefly about another Marine Corps officer. His name was Major Doug Zembiak, and he graduated he attended the U.S. Naval Academy, and he wrestled there, and he was a two-time NCAA All-American. His coach referred to him as the best conditioning athlete he had ever been around. Zembiak graduated from the Academy on May 31st, 1995, and he served in the U.S. Marine Corps until he was killed in action in 2007, serving combat tours in Kosovo, Afghanistan, and Iraq. Major Zembiak was a force recon officer in every sense of the word. He was named the Lion of Fallujah for his heroic actions leading his troops in 2004. He was awarded a Silver Star and a Bronze Star for heroism and courage and gallantry in action. And then for injuries incurred in battle, he was awarded 2 Purple Hearts. But Major Zembiak isn't just great because of what he did. He's also great because of his words. After his death, his family found some writings of Major Zembiak's under the title of Lessons from My Father. He wrote, "Be a man of principle. Fight for what you believe in. Keep your word. Live with integrity. Be brave. Believe in something bigger than yourself. Serve your country. Teach. Mentor. Give something back to society. Lead from the front. Conquer your fears. Be a good friend. Be humble and be self-confident. Appreciate your friends and family. Be a leader and not a follower. Be valorous on the field of battle and take responsibility for your actions. Never forget those who are killed and never let rest those who killed them." These are pretty amazing words to jot down in a journal during a time of war, especially then with all that was going on around him. And I thought about Major Zembiak's words many times during my recovery and have tried to apply them to my personal and professional lives. I think they probably apply to all of you here today because you've just completed a major milestone in your lives and now you're moving on to bigger and better things. To follow these words will ensure that you lead a life of honor and service and that you're a real asset to your community around you. Now, I'm sure that George Grant and Jordan Bueller didn't wake up on October 18, 2006, planning on saving my life. They just reacted to the situation around them based on their training and who they were at their core. Compassionate, selfless, and committed to the greater good. My question for you today as you walk across the stage is, what kind of person are you going to be? December graduates, it's a real honor for me to come back and be here with you today. I'm so proud of all of you. Congratulations and best of luck in whatever you choose to do. Thank you so much.